This will be a video presentation with regards to the third measures of central tendency, and this is the mode. In my previous discussion, in my previous video clips presentation, I have discussed to you the first and the second tool when finding the center of a particular distribution, and these are the mean and the median. For now, we will have the mode. So when we are defining or when we describe a mode, it is the most frequently occurring value or values in a particular distribution. So based from this description, we are picking up the most frequently occurring value or values. Now, why is it values? Since in a mode, it is possible to have a more than one value or values. So, as I'm saying a while back, to get the mode, it is by simply picking up the most frequently occurring value or values in a particular distribution if the data is ungrouped. Okay, so it is very easy to find the mode of a distribution. Let's say for example, um, in a distribution x variable, we have the following elements. We have 2, 3, 4, 4, and 5. So in this case, as you can see, there are 5 elements in the variable x, and we want to find out the mode on this given row data. So we will base it from the description of that mode, which is by simply picking up the most frequently occurring value. So which among these elements is considered to be the most occurring or frequently occurring element? This will be 4. All right. So this will be 4. Why? Because we know, as you can see, 4 is presented twice in the variable x. Unlike the other elements, they only presented once. Okay? So therefore, yung 4 natin will be considered the mode of the distribution or the row data. So it is very easy. It is very easy to find out the mode of a particular distribution or a row data. Okay, take note on that. It's by simply picking up the most frequently occurring value or element. Now, as we said a while back, it is possible to have 3 modes, 2 modes, 4 modes, and so on. So how is that? So if we have another example, if we will be setting another example, let's say we have 10, we have 5, we have 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so considering this data, another set of data in a variable x, we have the elements 10, we have 5, we have 6, we have 5, we have 6, 7, and 8. So if we want to find out the mode in this case, this will be an example of a bimodal. Okay, this will be an example of a bimodal. So when we say bimodal, from the word itself, it is the distribution has 2 modes. Okay, from the word bi, it means 2. So meaning there will be two values of the mode in that particular distribution. So what we will do is to locate or identify which among these are repeated, okay, which is considered to be the most frequently occurring values. So as you can see, we have 5 and 6. Why? Why did we consider 5 and 6 as the most frequently occurring values? Because as you can see, they have repeated twice. Okay, so 5. There are 2 5s, okay, and on that given x variable, and there are also 2 6 on that given variable. So how is that? So this will be an example of a bimodal. Now if we will graph a bimodal, there will be 2 bulk of that given distribution, and that 2 bulks represents the 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 modes of that particular distribution. In a bimodal, we will only have one bulk, okay, one bulk of the distribution, and that is unimodal, okay. However, in this given example, this is an example of a bimodal. There are two modes of that particular data, and this will be the graphs, okay. So 5 and 6 are the modes of our given distribution. I hope you understand the discussion. Now, what if we will have another set of data? Okay, so this will be placed on the upper portion. What if we have this to be another 5, and this will be your variable x? So how is that? Can we still say that 5 and 6 is or are the modes of this given distribution with respect to variable x? No more. Why? Because 5 has repeated thrice, all right? It is the most frequently occurring value as of this time. 6 only repeated twice, so mas malaki yung 5, mas madaming na-repeat na 5. So therefore, we can no longer say that 6 will be one of the modes of our given distribution. So ang magiging mode na lang natin dito will be 5. Okay, so this will be the mode of our given distribution. So it is very easy to identify the mode of our distribution if the data is ungrouped. Okay, now what if the data is grouped? So that's the time to use now the formula. However, that given formula is only applicable for a unimodal. Okay, unimodal. If that is a group data and you found out na hindi siya unimodal, that might be a bimodal or a trimodal, then we will be utilizing another formula for us to find the rough mode na tinatawag. Okay, rough mode. So I'll be presenting to you the formula for a group data. Okay, so let's go back with our presentation. So on the next slide, it presents now the formula of the mode for a group data. Okay, so I often denote mode as M sub O. There are authors that they set or they symbolize mode, or they use an acronym MOD as the symbol for the mode. Okay, there are also authors that who are using X sub O, which represents the mode of that of a particular data. However, I'm using M sub O as the symbol for the mode. Okay, so the formula is given by L sub M plus the quantity F sub M minus F sub A all over 2FM minus 2FA minus 2 or minus FB. I repeat, or multiplied by the I, which is the class size. I repeat. So it is given by L sub M plus the quantity F sub M minus F sub A all over 2F sub M minus F sub A minus F sub B multiplied by I. Alright? Where LM or L sub M represents the lower class boundary of the modal class. So we'll be looking for the modal class in this mode for group data, just like what we did in the mean and median. For group data, we also found out the value of the assumed mean for the mean and the median class for the median. Okay, for mode, we'll be looking for the modal class. So how do we find then the modal class? This will be discussed to you later. Now let's go back to the variables given in the formula. F sub M represents the frequency of the modal class. Okay, very easy na lang yan na gawin. Pag nalaman mo yung modal class, just concentrate on its corresponding frequency, and that will be the value of your f sub m. Yung f sub a natin, it represents the frequency above the modal class. Okay? F sub b represents the frequency below the modal class, and I is equal to the class size. Now, what is the implication, by the way, what is the implication of finding the mode of a particular set of data? Now, it is very much applicable, as I am saying a while back, if your data, when in your research study, if your data are nominal in nature. Okay? Since we cannot compute for the level of that nominal scale of measurement, we can still get the average by simply identifying the most frequently occurring data or characteristic, and that will be the mode, applying the mode. So very very applicable naman at least si mode when the data in your research study is nominal scale of measurement. Okay, so let's go back to the formula, and this will now be the steps. The next slide presents the steps of the mode for group data. The first step is we need to find the value or the location of the modal class. Okay, so when we say modal class, this is the class interval. Okay, this is the class interval with the highest frequency. So you will observe the frequencies. Which among these frequencies is the highest? Which among these is the highest? So therefore, kung meron kang nakitang highest frequency na only one, okay, mag-isa lang siya, then the corresponding interval of that highest frequency will be the modal class. All right, will be the modal class. So makikita nyo. Now, what if among these frequencies there are dalawa yung highest frequencies? Is that can we still consider those two with respect to their intervals as the median class or classes? No more. So we cannot have modal class. So what does it mean? That's why itong formula na ito is only applicable for a unimodal. So ang basis natin sa unimodal are the frequencies. Okay? So kung sino yung pinaka-highest frequency among these frequencies, yung corresponding interval niya will serve as the modal class. Okay? Bakit natin kailangan ma-identify si modal class? Kasi based from this formula presented, we need the value of your LM. So for you to be able to identify your LM, we will find first the modal class, and it is actually the lower class boundary of the modal class. So we will find the lower class boundary of that modal class, which will be the value of your LM. Okay? And then the next step is to use now the mode formula on the previous slide. So ito yung magiging alternative way natin if you will encounter bimodal, trimodal, or what. Tatlo yung nare-repeat na frequencies, dalawa yung nare-repeat na frequencies na highest frequencies din. So we cannot use anymore the first formula. So ang gagamitin nating formula is this 3 multiplied by the median minus 2 multiplied by the mean. For this formula, you need to find out the mean and you need to find out the median. Unlike in the first formula, there's no need to find out, or there's no need to look for the value of the mean and the values of the mean and the median. So ito yung gagamitin nating formula which represents a formula in finding a rough mode. So we will only find a rough mode on that particular interval, okay? On that particular data. So rough mode ang ating tawag dyan. So this will be the formula of the rough mode. So let's consider this data. You have given the class intervals 25 to 29, 30 to 34, 35 to 39, 40 to 44, 45 to 49, and we have a class size of 5. These are the corresponding frequencies: 11, 25, 25, 13, and 14. Okay? So, as you can see in this data, 25 has repeated twice. Alright? So, dalawa yung ating highest frequency, which is 5 or 25. So, what does it mean? Can we use this formula? Hindi natin magagamit 'yan since dalawa yung 25 natin. So in that case, or in this case, we will be utilizing the second formula, which is the 3 times the median minus 2 times the mean. Okay? So ang gagawin ninyo, you will find the mean. Okay, you will find the mean of this. Okay, you will find the mode of this given distribution, applying the first formula. Am I understood? All right. So I repeat, you need to apply the mode. Go back to the previous slides. You need to apply the first formula for the mode and find the mode of this given data. For the second formula, which is given by 3 times the mean minus 2 times the median, you will be answering this one. What is the value of this? All right? What is the mode of this data using this formula? I hope you got it. Okay? I repeat, for this formula, you will be applying it to the previous slide, okay, which is this. Ito yan. So you will apply the first formula for this data. And this will be your first 2 activities for today's meeting. Okay? So before I will end my discussion about mode, I would just like to give you the important characteristics of this tool under the measures of central tendency. So the first one is the mode is the most appropriate measure of central tendency if the data is in nominal in scale. Alright? So sinabi ko na yan kanina, very much appropriate itong tool na ito when your data in your research study is in nominal in nature. The mode is considered to be the least reliable among the 3 measures of central tendency because its value is defined in some distribution. The mode is used when we want to find out which occurs most often. If that is your target, if that is your objective, to be able to find out which among these values occurs most often. So yung mode ang pinaka-appropriate sa kanilang tatlo. Okay? The mode is a quick approximation of the average. Kasi ako when the assistant din asked me to at least compute the general average of the applicants of the new applicants or freshman applicants, ang ginagawa ko, I'm not computing the grades through the mean or through the median. Ang ginagawa ko, tinitignan ko, I'm just inspecting the grades or this set of grades of that particular student. Tinitignan ko kung sino yung nare-repeat most often. So doon ako nagka-concentrate. So in that case, that might be since that is a very quick approximation of the average. Titignan mo lang sino yung often na nare-repeat diyan. So diyan ka mag-concentrate. So maybe nandyan yung average na ng bata na yan. So that's why they call this mode as inspection average. Okay? It is a very quick way for us to at least approximate kung nakukulangan ka na ng oras, kailangan mo nang malaman kung ano talaga yung average ng bata yan, so you can apply the mode. Okay? However, this is considered to be the least reliable tool under measures of central tendency. So these are the important characteristics of the mode, which is the third measures of central tendency, which is often applied in research studies. Okay, so thank you once again for watching to my video. Please wait for my next videos. I'll be presenting to you the measures of position. Okay? The measures of position. So this will be the next descriptive tool that we will be talking about. So further discussion will be presented in the next video. Thank you once again and have a good day.